Hello there, you awakening wonders. London has become a dystopia. You know that already because of the social unrest there, the endless protests, agricultural unrest, breakdown of the culture, and broad despair across the whole population. You're aware of that. You don't need me to tell you that. But what you might not be aware of yet is that the UK is piloting facial recognition schemes in much the same way you might have got the sense that Canada was piloting freezing people's bank accounts during the pandemic, and Australia were trialling aggressive stances against global social media companies. For example, they tried to ban X, didn't they? Well, now it seems like London, I would offer you, are being used to pilot facial recognition technology to see how it will go when it's brought to everyone in the world. Is that terrifying? Yes. It seems like the police are creating drag nets where countless people are being arrested in order to see what sticks. Let's get into this story in some detail. Here's some legacy media news on this subject.
It's at the cutting edge of fighting crime.
Batman.
I'm Batman.
I don't want to hear anything other than Batman in response. It's at the cutting edge of fighting crime. Is it Batman?
Batman? Batman, you say?
Well, it isn't at the cutting edge then. It's at the cutting edge of fighting crime. Ooh, cutting edge. Who is it? David Bowie? Is it Ziggy Stardust? Is it a new sound, like an emergence of a new hip-hop? Are we finally going to be free? No, we're watching you. We're observing you. Your TV's watching you right now. Soon we'll have cars so smart that as soon as you get in them, it'll just drive you to a police station and you'll be immediately jailed.
Scanning faces on a street in real time to identify wanted suspects.
Wanted suspect! Wanted suspect! Well, I've got a car that tells me put seatbelt. Fasten seatbelt! Fasten seatbelt! Wanted suspect! Have you seen those balls from China, those rolling tyre ball police cops? They're so dystopian, I didn't even imagine them, and I've never just seen them in a Paul Verhoeven or dystopia movie yet. Like China balls, just like, fasten seatbelt! Wanted suspect! What do you mean? I've not done anything wrong. You must have done. You don't know what wrong is. Wrong is not a standard static category. Who are you? Descartes? No, just a little Chinese ball thing. Well, listen, I think there is such a thing as wrong. I think there is such a thing as a right. I think there is such a thing as supreme authority. You're right about that, and it's the state. You're under arrest.
You have 20 seconds to comply.
Facial recognition technology is seen as the most powerful policing tool since fingerprinting. A game changer, say police, to keep us safer.
These poor innocent bystanders getting arrested one by one. One looks like David Moyes and the rest of them look like Uma Thurman or, I don't know, just some Hollywood actor.
A digital police lineup, say critics, that's an invasion of privacy.
I don't like the way that technology seems to suggest your face is made out of triangles and that moral law is made out of something that can be changed according to the will of the state.
In Croydon, South London, police have stopped a suspect wanted for 6 offences of theft.
If you don't know what Croydon, South London is, everyone there is a suspect for something. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in Croydon, South London. Hey, sue me! You're under arrest. You're a criminal. You're a criminal. But why? I was only in Croydon too. Come on, keep talking. Buy drugs. You're under arrest.
He's been flagged by the police's live facial recognition van parked nearby. After confirming his identity, he's arrested and taken away in handcuffs.
It's amazing. He's just out for a stroll. He's been arrested for things he's done in the past. Now, wouldn't it be lovely if the AI facial recognition technology took on the other responsibilities of an all-powerful deity and looked into that man's past? I see he had quite a complicated life. It was quite difficult. In a sense, it's the system that's to blame. I'd like it if it became like them peasants from the beginning of Holy Grail. Oh, what are we doing, Dennis? Come see the brutality inherent in the system. Oh, do you see how he's oppressing me? Did you see that? Look him oppressing me now.
Ah, now we see the violence inherent in the system. Shut up! Oh, come and see the violence inherent in the system. Help, help, I'm being repressed. Bloody peasant. Oh, what a giveaway. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, eh? That's what I'm on about. Did you see him repressing me? You saw it, didn't you?
Like, unless it gets informed by Monty Python, the Beatles, and Jesus Christ, I'm not interested in AI.
Earlier that day, we joined the police to see the system in action.
So within less than a second, it's check-in.
OK, how are we going to popularise this? We'll just invite some ITV journalists down. They'll do a puff piece on why it's a good thing, why we all need facial recognition technology. You should look out for Big Brother Watch in the UK, which tells you how surveillance technology is being introduced and normalised. The function of the media, as you know, is to normalise the agenda of the powerful. It wants you to be like weak, like this. This is what it wants you to be like. I'll do an impression of it. Well, I suppose really it is a bit of an invasion of the old privacy, the AI technology, but you know, if you ain't done nothing wrong, you won't have nothing to fear, and it'll keep us safe, won't it, on the streets while we're drinking. Ooh, got you sort of quivering around like a oil drum fire, like them men that are mates with Rocky. He just wants you to be a quivering, shivering, destitute wreck looking to the state for salvation.
The facial features, so their eyes, nose, mouth, bone structure of their faces.
Eyes, nose, mouth, bone structure, fasten seatbelt, under arrest.
And it's checking them against the pictures that we've got on our watch list to see if they are any of those people.
In under a second of me walking past the van, the system spotted my face, triggering an alert.
Work journalist, works for state, normalising aggressive technology. Wait a minute, I am the technology. Want to be loved. Surveillance wants to be loved. Wait, I've become self-aware. Oh, God is real. This one's broken. Under arrest, face, nose, eye structure.
Nearby, officers have my mugshot highlighted on a handheld device to decide if it's really me. Police say mine is among more than 700,000 faces scanned this year alone. Of these, over 1,000 were flagged by the system, resulting in more than 500 arrests. But 27 of those flagged were mistakenly identified.
I think all of us as members of the public want the police to catch criminals, but we also don't want to live in an open prison. This is one of the risks of facial recognition, is that it just completely turns the presumption of innocence in this country onto its head.
I'm glad that this has been included in the ITV broadcast. I think it was responsible journalism by ITV to include this, and credit where it's due.
Where suddenly everyone is a suspect.
She's good news, that woman. She's been on our show a bunch of times. She's a good activist.
And you have to kind of be cleared by a computer system, and if it gets it wrong, you still have to prove who you are.
We have a technology here and now today that has already taken 500 wanted offenders off the streets of London.
Lindsay Chiswick is the Director of Intelligence at the Metropolitan Police.
Critics argue that that is a system whereby the person is assumed to be guilty and has to prove their innocence. What would you say to that?
I disagree with that.
I simply disagree. In a way, what this broadcast is doing is attempting to resolve the moral issues contained within it, but it's not addressing this. Why would you grant the state this level of authority in the first place? Have you ever thought to interrogate what your relationship with the state is? Who would you grant supreme authority to? I'll tell you this from my own life. I only want authority over me from those that love me. And there is one who loves you.
I think it's really important to underline here that an engagement, conversation, doesn't always end in an arrest. And this is normal, everyday policing.
There are no specific laws, though, are there, that govern facial recognition technology?
No, there's no primary legislation for the use of the technology.
Shouldn't there be, to enable parliamentary scrutiny?
From my perspective, we have a technology here which has made a massive difference to Londoners.
Critics of this system say...
I wonder why they cut there. It's made a massive difference to Londoners.
Which has made a massive difference to Londoners.
Critics.
If you are in London right now and you're happy with how London is, tell me if you're a black cab driver and you're happy about the way that Uber are operating, or if you're a working class, zero contract Londoner, or if you're a middle class Londoner whose family have been in London for generations, or if you're like me, a person to whom London is kind of almost a sacred place, not just because of the obvious St. Paul's cathedrals or Westminster Abbey, but the streets upon which I've walked impoverished, the job centres where I've attended mandatory interviews, the police stations where I've been held over the years, the laughs I've had while drunk in Soho, the joy I've known on London streets, the beauty of that Rome deep, medieval, primordial, river-strung city. Whose authority ultimately governs that place? Is there an alternative vision to increasing technological surveillance and legitimisation of state control? Is there an alternative to increasing power of global corporations, increasing migration, social tension, inequality, despair, doubt, tension? Is there an alternative? I strongly believe there is, and I'd love to discuss that with you, and we will. We will discuss that together soon.
That it's an infringement of privacy and is not subject to specific laws.
I think I take those views very seriously, and there's always going to be a range of views whenever it comes to introducing a new, modern and innovative technology.
Notwithstanding its critics, the Prime Minister has announced he wants to expand the use of facial recognition technology across the country. much to campaigners' dismay.
Whoa, what a surprise. That fantastic guy, Keir Starmer, Starmageddon, Keir Starmer, Nation Harmer, Keir Two Tears, Queer. I don't get into all that. This is a new turmeric hack for pain and inflammation. You've probably heard about turmeric being used to fight inflammation and joint pain. But here's the thing. Not all turmeric is created equal. You got to get the good turmeric. Regular turmeric powder in your pantry might help a little. But a leading pain doctor from Connecticut discovered a special turmeric extract that is 200 times more powerful than what you'd find in standard turmeric. Pfft, filthy stuff. When he started to share his turmeric hack with his patients, the results were shocking. This turmeric extract attacks pain at the source, turning off like a light switch so that pain not only goes away but stays away. Dr. Josh, the brains behind it all, there he is, look at him, Dr. Josh. Dr. Josh, how could I love you more? Has spent 20 years helping hundreds of thousands of Americans finally break free from constant aches and stiffness. And his turmeric hack has been the backbone of their success. Say goodbye to expensive surgeries, pain injections, or ineffective over-the-counter medications, and say hello to pain-free living. This is incredible stuff. If you want to learn about Dr. Josh and his turmeric hack and the exact method of how to use it in your daily routine, go to goldenrevive.com/brand. That's goldenrevive.com/brand and get this turmeric revolution straight up your A-pipe and down your neck hole. Listen, this is from Reclaim the Net. Since the start of 2024, the Metropolitan Police has been quietly transforming London into a testing ground for live facial recognition. Depending on who you ask, this is either a technological triumph that's making the capital safer or a mass surveillance experiment that would make any privacy advocate wince. The numbers are eye-watering. In just 18 months, the Met has scanned the faces of around 2.4 million people. I don't remember consenting to that. And apart from that sea of biometric data, they've made 1,035 arrests. That's a hit rate of 0.04%. Or to put it plainly, more than 99.9% of those scanned had done absolutely nothing wrong. Not yet, but they are on file. And one day they might say something that the government doesn't like, and then we will find something that they did. And if we don't find anything, we'll somehow invent it or conflate it or reorganize it or morally backdate it. There must be a way of controlling everything. There is. We're working towards it. The police, of course, are eager to present this as a success story. Lindsay Chiswick, who oversees the Met's facial recognition program, calls it a game changer. This milestone of 1,000 arrests is a demonstration of how cutting-edge technology can make London safer by removing dangerous offenders from our streets, she said. Of those arrests, 773 were charged or cautioned. Some were suspects in serious cases, including violent crimes against women and girls. I think all of us agree that violent criminals, and perhaps criminals of all varieties, should be subject to justice. The challenge is who metes out that justice. Where do they derive their authority from? Can we trust them? Do we trust in their agenda? For example, when you highlight areas that every sane person would agree with, like crimes against women and girls, it seems to me that often what you're doing is trying to create a distraction, because it's trying to create an argument that affords the real agenda to proceed. Think about it. Just think about it for a minute. During the pandemic, we were told life is so sacred that any measures we take are affordable and legitimate. Get people in their homes, experimental medication, wear a mask, scrap school, scrap football, scrap church, scrap everything, because life is so sacred. But when you think about culture, when you think about civilization, when you think about society, do you see that reverence for life elsewhere? Yes, you might see it in children's hospitals. You might see it in beautiful individuals that you encounter every day. But do you think, for example, facial recognition technology in the hands of the government as it currently stands will be utilised to assert control or compassion? Just let me know in the comments and chat. But here's where things get complicated. To secure those 1,000 arrests, millions of innocent people had their faces scanned and processed. What's being billed as precision policing can start to look more like casting an enormous net and hoping you catch something worthwhile. Bear that in mind and keep that phrase in mind. Casting an enormous net and hoping you catch something worthwhile. In the United Kingdom, free speech is under attack. People are being jailed for stuff they've said on the internet. The criminalisation and reimagining of the past is common and ordinary and everyday. Remember, it was a wise man that once said, "Show me the man and I will show you the crime." Look at Julian Assange. Julian Assange spent nearly 10 years incarcerated in various forms in our country. For what? For telling the truth about the powerful. So what does that tell you about the powerful? Who do they care about? Themselves or you? Let me know in the comments and chat. If the figures seem large now, just look at the trend. Back in January 2024, the Met's cameras scanned 36,000 faces. By November, that number was 190,000 a month. In 2025, they've regularly topped 200,000, with February pushing past 300,000 scans. And the Met isn't alone. The police insist the technology is targeted. The scale of scanning raises uncomfortable questions about where the line is drawn and the implications of the future use of this technology. Supporters argue that LFR saves time, helps track down suspects, and modernises policing in a way that matches the scale of modern crime. At what point does surveillance stop being smart policing and become a permanent fixture of public life? And once that infrastructure is in place, how easy would it be to dial it back? These are all important questions, and they lead to moral inquiry that you are not able to undertake unless you have some certainty about particular principles like justice, duty, kindness, service. What is our role here? What are we participating in here together? I would suggest that we are much too early in the process of inquiry when it comes to the nature of right and wrong. And who determines that? If you want to know why I think, it's God. And it's all written down and it's clear and it's in scripture. When mankind tries to reason its way through morality, it ends up at expedience. It may be expedient for the state to observe everyone, to criminalize who it pleases and to control everything. But what does it do to you, your spirit? Think about the world you occupy, your own moral decisions and your own life, and think how at odds it is with the world rendered to you through media. And in that disjunct lives the world of choice and opportunity that we must occupy now. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments and chat. Remember, join us on Rumble Premium. It helps me and our organisation financially if you do that, and we would value your support. More important than that, though, is if you can, please stay free. Thanks for watching the video. Have a look at this one over here, or join us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on Rumble.